In the world of YouTube, you probably have seen my rebuild log recently. Parts 2 and 3 just went up probably about a week or two before this video. But in actuality, about a month has passed and my computer is being teared down again. If you've seen a video of how not to install a Fractal Design Celsius S360, you can kind of have an understanding of where this is going, which is another case. You just saw the unboxing of that case. It's actually supposed to be part 1 of this video, but I decided to do something a little bit different. This is going to be the teardown video. This is me taking everything out of the Meshify. And the next video you're going to see is the rebuild log. That video is going to be a little bit longer, obviously, because there's a couple things I have to do, including apparently pulling a pin out of somewhere I shouldn't have. So stay tuned to that. But let me show you guys a little bit of the pain and the annoyance of being in this space. And let's take a look at me tearing apart the Fractal Design Meshify. The stuff that's in it, not the case itself. So, we have a long way to go here, but you guys are actually going to come along for the ride. So, interestingly enough, these cases are almost the exact same dimensions. The difference is the Corsair one is a smidget taller, and it's a bit longer, probably by about an inch or so, which is good for us. That's definitely going to help us out because we have a really, really long graphics card. Usually don't see them 300 millimeters. So you figure that's 30 centimeters, and that's basically a foot. It's actually longer than a foot. So that's not going to work as much as I would like to think so. So I go back to work tomorrow and it's like late. I had to visit my mom in the hospital, so I digress. So we're going to go ahead and we want to get the cooler installed first. That is definitely the first thing I want to be installed here. Wish I, well, I will have more room here in the near future. Just wish I had more room now. So I just realized I actually didn't loosen this down from whenever I installed it. Because I was trying to play with the radiator, move it up, and all sorts of stuff. But it's not really a big deal. It was in. See, these are rubber, so they actually flex back pretty far. Okay. So we have one fan. And then did I take... I did not. So before I go any further, we're going to want to remove the side panel here. So by my estimations, we should have, I think we figured about 20 millimeters, which is right around, really close to an inch of space between the graphics card and the front of the cooler. So that should be fine. Airflow actually will probably be about the same. I don't know. The Meshify didn't have bad airflow. It's just these are smaller cases, so you know you don't. That's one thing that you do sacrifice. Is you know, if you have more space to work with, you have more ways to move the air and all that fun jazz. Let's see if we can keep this here. Oh, here, I'll move this back so this can sit up like that. There's that. I'm actually going to unplug both of these probably, just to get them out of the way here. I think one of them is down here possibly. Yeah, these were all 4 pins if I remember correctly. There we go. And then how these are different than the Fractal Design stock fans is these are much flatter. And what happens is if the fan's more like this rather than like this, if it hits something when it's rotating, it'll bounce the air back out, such as radiator. That's why you like these more closed designs, because it basically puts more pressure, because the air is bouncing back off, puts more pressure to force the air through the radiator. The general consensus from what I've learned, static pressure fans are perfectly fine for case fans. May not be quite as optimal, but you won't see a huge difference going to like an airflow fan versus a pressure fan, unless there's a huge RPM difference, obviously. But the other way around can be detrimental. So I have a video, or I have results, but I'm going to redo them. And it was comparing my H100i with the Fractal Design stock fans that come in here, and they're not particularly great with pressure. They're actually really bad. So my results were much worse than the air cooler I was using. Granted, I was using one of the best air coolers on the market. But I actually expected, if anything, slightly better results rather than slightly worse. And unfortunately, I did get slightly worse. Okay. There we go. So now the cooler should be freestanding at this point. Yep, it is. So what I'm going to do is, the cooler's not moving. It's basically going to stay there. It really can't move. It's kind of wedged in there. I'll move this up a little bit. I just don't have as much room as I really need right now. So the cooler's not going anywhere. It's stuck there. So I think what I'm going to do here is take out this, which is the graphics card, and then take out the board and move it all over. Although, to be honest, it's probably going to be a pain in the butt, but so be it. There we go. So please, these are not standard screws that I'm using here. So I thought about it, and I changed my mind. I'm going to take the cooler off. So I really did not want to repaste the CPU, but it's not really a big deal. It's just, you know, using thermal paste. And I've been using it a lot recently, but it's going to be the best idea. Okay. By the way, it was so close in here that I had to actually like pull the graphics card down and angle it out, because apparently I wedged it in there at first. So, whoops. Okay. There we go. So, at this point, I take a paper towel just to get most of it off. I'll get the rest of it off later with a Kleenex or something like that, because this won't get it completely off. It'll just get it most of the way off. There we go. What I'm trying to do, actually that did a pretty good job. What I'm trying to do is just get it off without getting paste everywhere. That's my goal. In fact, I'll actually get off the CPU now that I'm thinking about it. Just because if not, I will get paste everywhere. This is not coming off super clean, but that's good enough for now. And we can turn this and pull this out. And then what we're going to do is we're going to set this down here. Interestingly enough, the Air 540 I'm working with for another build, and by the way, that one's far from being fixed, by the way, is about as thick as 2 cases. It's like, holy crap. So, fun. I like the Meshify. It's a really good case for a small case. It actually cost me more than the Corsair one did. But the Corsair one definitely has some strengths and weaknesses. So, yeah, not going to necessarily ride home and say that, you know, the Corsairs, you know, they do make good products. There's no doubt about that. But Fractal Design does too. I honestly was going to stick with Fractal Design if they made a little bit more specific case for what I needed. So let's remove these because those are just going to be in the way. Let's spin this bad boy around here. So this is like some of the things I like that they do. We have several. We put several SSDs on the back of here, which is nice to have. Cable management was fine. There's no issues with it. As you can see, it's not my best job, but it's not my worst either. So I got a guy coming tomorrow to take a look at this. Hopefully he offers me something half decent. I mean, but granted, he does subscribe to my channel, but I'm going to put the 3 fans back in the front, and if he gives me anything close to market, or let's say like what this thing normally goes for without the extra fans, I think that's a pretty good deal. But we shall see. If he offers me like 40 bucks, I'll be like, yeah, thank you. But I have a $100 case with another, $20 or $30 in fans. I think it's close to 30. So make me an offer. All I ask is for people to be reasonable. I don't think that's too much. I mean, hardware does not depreciate 50% after like 5 days. It doesn't. Some people seem to think it does, but I'm here to tell you it does not. But anyway, I think a good price for this case. So if it's on sale, but normally sells for around $90, $30 fans, $120. I think like 90 bucks. I think that would be very fair for a case that has, it's coming from somebody reputable who knows who I am, who knows what I do. Obviously, I don't want to abuse my products. I take good care of them. I mean, come on, my build log's online. You guys can see it. So, But yeah, I mean, I don't think that's too far off. I think 90 bucks would be a good number. That being said, as long as it doesn't super lowball me, I'll probably just have to take it. These cases, I got lucky. I sold my last case at list. Well, it had extra fans and extra control in there, but pretty much list. The guy just really wanted that case. Said, well, shoot, if I can pick it up for me tomorrow and you barely used it, if you can come on my way, which I did. Oh no, we met halfway. We met near his work, and it was actually not too far from my work either. So it kind of worked out. But you don't get that too often, unfortunately. So it was kind of a win-win. He got the case that day with a little bit of extras, and I think he saved like 10 bucks off list, off what it would normally cost, but without the extra like 2 fans I put in there. So. Come on. Okay. We want to undo this because, oh, there it is. This is going to the guy that's coming tomorrow, most likely. I want to keep as many screws as I possibly can for him. Sorry guys, I know there's nothing going on camera right now. There we go. Okay, power supply down there. Now actually, I'm going to switch something up here. I have black of the cable sleeves, I guess you want to call it. They're not sleeves, they're the things that go around the cables. So I do have those. Okay, take you out. Hard drive. Gosh darn it. Oh yeah, this one at the bottom. I feel like I still have my Meshify case box. If I do, I'll give it to him. That's the one downside with buying a case. Sometimes you may not get every single screw that came with it. But usually you should get most things that you need. Sorry, this is what I'm doing. Nothing super exciting. In fact, I'll probably cut this part out because this is going to be a long video. A long series of videos, actually. I think I've been at this for over an hour. So these videos usually cut down to like half hour or so. Yeah, I've been doing a lot longer than that. In fact, I may run out of battery. And hopefully you guys see bulk of everything. Okay. Now, time to be a little bit on the careful side. Let's get the motherboard out here. Here, maybe I can turn it this way so you guys can see what I'm doing. Nope. There we go. Now you can. So, just something I guess important to note. Wait, does this have a punch out? Yeah, it does. Okay. Is if you're ever taking apart a case and somebody's coming to buy it, take the screws out, put them back in the standoffs. It's a great place to put them, and you don't have to worry about bagging it up or anything. And then the person knows, oh, these are the screws we use for the standoffs. Great. Perfect. There's that one. So 3 more to go. I have a giant arm and weight, don't I? Yeah. A teardown of a computer is usually pretty quick. It actually usually comes out quicker than it goes in. Because usually when you're putting it in, there's a little bit of planning and trial and error, as you guys found out with the liquid cooler. Is that I was not able to, it took me three different attempts to get it in. And it was just, that's part of the planning process. Okay. Now we don't have a cooler on here, so we're just going to have to grab it by the side and just be careful. Motherboards are far more durable than what they used to be. So, it's apart. And it's going right back together. In YouTube world anyway, it's going right back together. In reality, it did go right back together. That was probably a week and a half ago. So it's actually currently exporting the, what video am I exporting? Oh, I'm currently exporting the unboxing video. So yes, it is back together. It is ready to roll. It is working fine. But stay tuned to the build process of it, because I made a couple minor mistakes, nothing serious. But I really did enjoy building in it. But we're going to talk a little bit more about that when we actually go to build it. So, thank you guys for tuning into this video. And we're going to call this the Fractal Design Meshify-PC Teardown. The only part. And if you liked it, do that. Well, click the button that looks like this. If you didn't like it, I guess you can click the button that looks like this. If you subscribe, I'll be very grateful. If you want to leave comments, I'm generally good at keeping up on those. If you buy something from a session, after you click anything that we've used in this video below, that helps me out a lot. You don't have to, but just know that if you want to help me out, that's the way to help me out. And stay tuned to the Build Log. It's a little bit more entertaining and a little more insightful. But as always, this is Steve from PC Budget Solutions, and I'll see you all later on down the road.